Hello, this is my first attempt at vlogging, and we'll see how this goes. It was my intent to do this a lot earlier, but didn't ever get around to it. Not because I didn't know how, but just because I didn't know if it would be that important to do. But I thought, hey, if one person watches it, or even if nobody watches it, at least I'm doing it, and hopefully inspires me if nothing else. So my first vlog, the focus will be on my path to getting the sleeve, and that's what I did. I had the gastrectomy sleeve just a week ago today, and so just kind of how that all happened and kind of the process of the last year. So started on September 20th. I actually contacted the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics probably about a month before that and said that I'm interested in it. I filled out some paperwork and they got a phone call and said, okay, come on in on September 20th and we'll do kind of a pre-evaluation. And so did that, weighed in at 349 pounds, which wasn't a shock. I'd kind of been weighing myself, and my highest I've ever been was 358 pounds. So, which was, and then I had dropped a lot of weight, but then had put that back on. So, and that was my intent for this whole journey, was because it wasn't working the way that I was doing it and needed something else to help me along the way. So went in for appointment September 20th, and basically it was just kind of a meet and greet, if you will, with some other patients. Just kind of, they took us through the whole program and, you know, kind of to weed people out, I guess, if you will, or just to give information for people who are kind of on the fence. So decided I'd stick with the program, and had my next appointment on October 25th, which was with a dietitian, and they came up with a meal plan and had to fill these bubbles in of what you ate, what was good food and what wasn't good food, keep track of your water intake. Did okay with that, didn't do it to a T, but you know, I did as best as I could. No, I could have done better, but you know, I did okay on that. On that October 25th, I weighed 343 pounds, so I'd lost 6 pounds in that time period. When a month later, I went back November 11th, weighed in at 341 pounds, so lost 2 pounds in a month, which wasn't working extremely hard towards that, but you know, I'm on a supervised weight program and lost 2 pounds. Also in that time, I met with a psychologist just to make sure that my mind was right for weight loss surgery, because it is probably more mental than physical. No, it is more mental than physical, because it's not the physical, it's not your stomach that controls what you put into your body, it's definitely your mind, and just making sure that you're ready for that. And that was good. It was, didn't find out any demons in my closet or anything like that from meeting with the psychologist, but it went well. It went well. And so in that case, then I met with the doctor, and he told me a little bit more about the surgeries and kind of which surgery was best for me. And looking at all the options, I thought that the sleeve would be the best for me. Went back on January 12th after the holidays, and my mind took over again, and I gained all my weight back and was back to 349 pounds. You know, I just couldn't do it, and I didn't see the end in sight for me. But so that was disheartening. But the team was great at the University of Iowa, and they, you know, encouraged and helped out and tried to come up with some ways to help me out, and obviously that did. Did that, getting closer to a surgery date, and actually came up with one, and that was March 20th was the surgery date that they had come up with, which was going to work out great. It was going to be before the end of the school year, before we left for Disney. Life was going to be great, and looking forward to that. So Went back March 9th for my pre-op, which is going to start my liquid diet, and they did some blood tests and everything. So I met with the nurses, and everything was good, planning on, and then the doctor came in and said, you're not going to be able to do this because there's some abnormalities with your liver that came back with the blood tests. Yeah, you want to talk about socked across the jaw, and it was tough. It was tough because in my mind I had already come up with all of these dates that I was going to have things done, and it didn't happen. And that was tough. That was extremely tough to swallow. Ask some questions. They signed me up to meet with a liver doctor then. So not only am I not having surgery, but now who knows what's going on with my liver. And when you're obese, you have a fatty liver anyway, but they were worried about some damage that might have been done with perhaps cirrhosis, which is a problem of being obese. So had a schedule for March 30th to meet with the doctor. Great guy, did a wonderful job and just kind of telling about what the steps were going to be to do this. I said, all right, let's do that. But I couldn't go in until April 27th to get the ultrasound done to really know what's going on. So I had about 4 weeks there and there of not knowing what's going on in my body. And if anybody's ever been through that, it's tough. And so not only am I still trying to lose some weight, but also having that impact of stress and nerves. But, did okay. So April 27th came, had my ultrasound. Fortunate my wife was with me. And so went through, did some things, scheduled another appointment then for May 3rd to go over that. The findings and everything was good. It wasn't great. There's some scarring on my liver, but the doctors decided that the risk would helps the reward, and so said go ahead and you can have surgery. And so very ecstatic that day and happy and things. So my liver's not great, but with weight loss and eating and drinking right, the hope is that it'll be fine. So went a couple times, and asked some questions about like, okay, when's this going to happen? Because I'm, jumping for joy on the inside. And so came up with a surgery date of July 27th, 2018, which wasn't a great time, but it wasn't horrible either. And so really looked forward to that. So we had a wonderful summer of vacations. Went to Indiana to a lake house, and then went to Orlando and to Disney World, and just had a super time. But in the back of my mind is always, what am I, going to be doing in a month and things. So that worked out okay. So went in for my pre-op on July 20th, and that went well. Started my liquid diet, which happened to be the first day of our reunion. And if anybody knows my family, we like to eat and drink heavily. But it was a good mental hurdle to go over. And I actually lost 4 pounds at the family reunion on my liquid diet. So that was a huge victory for me, because I would have gained 4 or maybe 8 pounds had I not had this goal in mind at the end. So right then told me what I could do. So had the surgery, did the pre-op physical and liquid diet for 10 days or so, and then had the surgery on July 31st, and weighed in there 324 pounds. So I went from 351 at the beginning of the summer to 324 pounds. And that's kind of where I'm going to stop here on this first vlog. My next vlog will be kind of about the surgery and about my first week and how that's gone. So again, thanks for watching. Any suggestions, I would take them. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.